Hello.
Hello. We're live. I don't know why I like hop in the chair every time.
I don't know why you do either.
Like I'm getting set. Let's go.
There's JT. Hi, JT.
You still here, JT? Because this damn I'm early, so.
Yeah, he said something again.
Oh, okay. Hello, Jeff.
Hi there, Jeff.
Hello, Mom.
Hello.
Okay. Let the party start.
Man, I'm tired, Matt.
We cut the grass. We came home. The grass was out of control because, it'd been like a week since we cut it. Hey there, Tony Dials.
Hi, Tony.
So it was like crazy grass, and we cut it. And now it has sapped all of the energy from Kimbrough.
It has, because it's like hot and I'm fighting bugs flying in my nose.
Hey there, Les. There are a lot of bugs. I would agree.
Yeah. Do you think Marty would cut the grass with me?
No.
Oh.
No. No. All the rain this week, the grass is crazy, right? I know. And it's just beginning our wet season here in the Sunshine State of Florida. When the grass grows and the bugs flock.
Thank you, JT.
The bugs don't flock. They swarm. Tony Dial says, has anyone told the little dragon that it has something on its belly?
Marty has something on its belly?
Yeah, parasite.
Wow. Marty, you got something on your belly.
Well, okay, this is exciting. How's everybody out there doing? Do you guys have anything exciting going on right now? We don't have anything exciting going on right now. Thus the
silence,
the awkward silence there. If you guys didn't see it last week, we had Adam on and talked about the Margaritaville, which was, I thought, pretty exciting. I'm really curious to try it out ourselves in November.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Tony's teaching Hermione how to walk.
Oh, that's cool.
That's fun.
Okay.
So she can get into all the drawers and cabinets?
Yeah. That's the joys of having children, though. Marty's not smart enough to get into the cabinets. Although Skirka might be, but cool. And apparently I'm making JT laugh. So there you go. Done.
You're stabbing me with your hat.
I know I couldn't reach Marty for a little nose kiss because your head was in the way.
Oh, okay.
I'm drinking something weird because I didn't have anything to mix with anything. So I had one last Diet Dr. Check, which is like Dr. Pepper, mix it with some Buffalo Trace, and it's kind of working. It's not like, I don't know that I would like go out of my way to make one all the time, but the thing is, like with the bourbon and Coke, I feel like you could do varying levels of Coke and it's going to work okay. But with bourbon and Dr. Pepper, I think you got to hit like a threshold before it tastes good. Also Diet Dr. Check, so it's not even real Dr. Pepper, and it's also diet, so that probably doesn't help it. But it's it's if you got to do what you got to do. It was either that or just ice. So.
And I don't have anything to drink.
That's right. Oh, and JT's having a pour of E.H. Taylor with a splash of Pepsi or Coke or whatever, cola.
Les says finally made the trip to Buc-ee's this week.
Is that the first time you guys have been to Buc-ee's, Les? Because you guys are closer to Buc-ee's, right? Interesting. Hey there, Cruise Nuts. How are you guys doing? We're doing pretty good. Pretty good. Les is posting dollar signs.
Because Buc-ee's is expensive.
Oh, yeah, it is kind of, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like I expected it to be really cheap. Is it cheap on some things, but expensive on some things?
I don't know.
Or is it just expensive?
Marty has a little piece of skin that's on the scale that I really want to get off.
Okay.
but it's not coming off. So
Well, then maybe you should leave it alone.
probably.
That probably means it's not ready.
I know, but it's there. It's
Well,
there.
it's Marty's body. You can't just be annoyed and pull her skin off. Stacy says, "Hi everybody. We're out of town for the weekend, but figured we'd drop in." Well, thank you very much, Stacy and Gina. Appreciate that. First time the Daytona one. Oh, so you've been to other ones, but not the Daytona one. Pardon me. Those of you that have been to multiple Buc-ee's, is there a lot of difference? Is it like been to one Buc-ee's, been to them all, or is there like merit in visiting different Buc-ee's? Inquiring minds want to know. Is there merit in visiting Buc-ee's twice? I mean, I do like the products they have.
Yeah.
They are expensive, I would say.
Yeah. JT says that brisket sandwich wasn't cheap. Yeah.
No, but it was also enough for all three of us.
We could have shared that.
And well, maybe all four of us. I don't know if I don't know if everybody likes brisket. You like brisket?
That's what I ate.
Oh, okay. All right.
What kind of question is that?
What, does Jen like brisket?
She took a couple bites.
Okay. Does JT like? I don't know what JT got. So maybe we all four could have split that sandwich. It probably would have been enough for all four of us to split. I don't know.
Only Buc-ee's was the Daytona one. I'm talking into my phone, so Siri doesn't understand.
I understand. I understand her not understanding. Well, has anybody been to multiple Buc-ee's? And if so, do tell. Do tell. Are they all the same? I'm a fat guy. I love barbecue brisket. Right, but like even you were like, oh my God, I can't eat all this. And even I was like, oh my God, I can't eat all this. I did eat all mine.
I think you're the only one that ate
the whole thing. I am the only one that ate the whole thing. But I mean, I could have stopped and been happy.
And instead you were miserable.
Yeah. I mean, like if more hadn't existed, I'd have been okay. But since it was there, it was like Everest. I had to climb it.
Okay. I stopped.
I know, but I don't have that kind of control.
I had to save room for my cookie dough.
I mean, I also ate all my pecans. So I was just gluttonous. I was a glutton.
Yeah. JT says, I also had the coconut cream pie.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I think if like I was able to go to Buc-ee's whenever I wanted, I could probably control myself. But since it's like, once or twice a year thing, then I'm like, I go a little cray. Cruisin says, got part 1 of 2024 whale shark video posting this coming Tuesday. I thought I saw something that you posted about an upcoming whale shark dealy do. Well, that's cool. Look forward to seeing that. Was that in Cozumel, or was it somewhere else with the whale sharks? This straw just doesn't stop. I'd say it sucks, but that's, in this case, not a good, well, I guess, I don't know. It's good. I don't know. Anyway, Stacy says we've only been to one Buc-ee's, Auburn, Alabama. So that's useful. If we could blend our brains together, then that would be useful. But apart, I don't know. JT says it was a bit overwhelming, but enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a lot. It's always a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to throw in real quick. So I know we were talking about Les and Pat just went to Buc-ee's, but we actually went to Buc-ee's with JT and Jen the weekend before. So that's why we're talking about it as if we know things.
Did we not talk about that?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
I don't think.
Okay. So that was a fun trip. But like, I wouldn't have made it if it wasn't like getting to hang out with JT and Jen for the ride and, just having some time hanging out with them. And then their first time. So it was kind of fun. The first time is memorable, what they say, right? So yeah, this one whale shark seemed to be 30 foot long. Wow, no kidding. 25 miles off Isla Mujeres. I know I'm saying that wrong. It's driving me nuts. Where is that though? Is that off of Mexico, in the Pacific, in the Atlantic? Well, I guess it wouldn't be the Atlantic. It'd be off in the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean. I don't know my geography very well, I guess, is what I'm saying. But 30 foot is nice. I think the whale sharks that I saw, one of them was definitely not that big. And maybe the bigger of the ones I saw was, it might have been pushing 30. It was probably closer to 25. But it's big. It's big. When you're in the water with a 25-foot shark, you know, it's a big shark. Big shark. I was not afraid though. Like, you know,
Did you think you were going to be afraid?
I didn't think I would, but you never know.
But I mean, it's like a whale shark, not like a great white shark.
I understand. And like, but I know people who were comfortable with like manatees, but then they get in the water with them and they're like, it takes a minute for their brain to like tell their instincts that it's this large creature in the water is not going to eat them, even though they know that it's not. And with a shark, I could see, you know, like the first time you were in the water with a shark, not at the aquarium, because I don't even know if I'd count the aquarium, because the aquarium, you know, it's safe. Like, it's so controlled. But like the first time that we were diving and you saw a shark, I don't know what the first shark we saw.
The first one
was it a nurse shark?
No, it was the reef shark.
Oh, the reef shark in the Keys. That was a fairly small shark. It was like a 5-6 foot shark, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Did you have a moment of, oh crap, that's a shark?
No.
Or were you just totally comfortable?
I was like super excited.
Yeah. I mean, that's how
where I like forgot how to dive properly and I started floating up.
Yeah.
Because I was like focused and excited about like watching the shark that I forgot what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yucatan Peninsula, watch that video if you want to judge the size. Cool. Yes. Drop a link to that in the Fantastic Cruising community on Facebook if you're over there and you'd like to, so that folks in the Fantastic community see it if they're not, you know, watching this video or something like that. Because there's a lot of people that would probably like to see that. Yeah, I thought maybe I would be nervous the first time I saw a shark, but I don't know. The first shark that I saw while I was diving was it a night dive? I don't think it was a night dive. I was diving with my friend Penny in the Keys, and we went over a coral head, and I know I've told you this story, and there was a hogfish, I think, like a big hogfish. And I like turned around and I got her like attention to look. And when I turned back, where the hogfish was a decent sized nurse shark, which she assumed that's what I was pointing to the whole time. Like she had, until the dive was over, she had no idea that I was talking about a hogfish. That didn't really, it startled me in that I turned around and there was a shark, but it didn't shark scare me, you know? Like I don't know. If you saw like a tiger shark or a bull shark,
I'd probably be a little nervous.
Would you be a little nervous the first time? I think maybe I would too. I don't think I would be that nervous. Unless it was a weird situation where we weren't expecting to see a shark like that. I think if we were like diving in Bimini and we were going on a tiger shark dive.
You know, I might actually be a little intimidated if I saw a hammerhead shark.
Oh, hammerhead wouldn't. I don't think a hammerhead would bother.
I don't know because I don't know. There's something like they're cool looking and pretty, but I feel like they're a little intimidating. I might feel differently if I was in the water with them, but
yeah, I don't think. I think bull and tiger would have the biggest chance of making me nervous, just because I know sometimes they do get a little naughty. A great white would definitely make me think, but I think I'd get over it pretty, unless the shark was doing something to make me nervous. I think I would get over that pretty fast. I don't know. You don't know till you're there, right? You don't know till you're in that situation. But like other big predators don't make me nervous. You know, it did make me nervous today, a little bit, not too bad. And I was really analyzing. Yeah, I was driving to an outreach today, and there was a wasp in the car with me, and it like flew. I was driving down the highway. It's raining. It flew in front of me, and it landed like in the corner of the windshield, and it's sitting there. And I'm just thinking, I want to get this animal out of the vehicle, but I was a little bit concerned about like trying to wave it out. Like I rolled the windows down, but it was like planted in there. And I'm like, I don't want to like upset it because I know it's not going to just sting me. But like if I try and remove it, then I might freak it out, piss it off, and then it might sting me. I don't really want to get stung while I'm driving a vehicle in the rain. So I just sat there and it sat there and we just watched each other while I drove. And then finally, I got to a light and it was like tucked in. It turned around and looked like it was ready to fly. And so I took that as a message, it probably wasn't, and I rolled down the windows again and it like and flew right out the window. So there you go.
Well, I'm glad you didn't get stung.
Yeah, I don't like being stung by things.
I don't think most people do.
No, I mean, I've been stung in the face enough times that it's not like an experience that I'm looking to have again. So what is Les saying here?
For our November cruise this year, we're going to Aruba, Curacao, and Grand Turk.
Cool.
Is there any chance if we snorkel at one of those locations, we could see turtles or rays of any kind?
What was it? So
Aruba, Curacao, and Grand Turk.
So yes, absolutely. If depending on where you would go in those areas, I would say that there are relatively good odds you could see any of those. Absolutely. If you are looking to see those, there are probably experiences that you could do that would increase your odds. But anywhere that you snorkel in those locations that is in the ocean, I would say your odds of seeing a stingray are the best of some sort. Probably a southern ray, but you could also see yellow stingrays, pretty common. Sea turtle, definitely if you're in the right habitat. Maybe a hawksbill if you're over a reef, most likely. If you're over a reef, it'd be a hawksbill. If you're in a seagrass area, definitely green sea turtles would be the next most likely. And then what was the other thing?
Those are the two animals.
Oh, I thought there were three for some reason. It's 3 places.
3 locations, okay. 2 animals.
Yeah. I mean, but there's areas in some of these places where I don't know about those specifically if they've got like turtle areas. I feel like Aruba does. Grand Turk, I've seen sharks in Grand Turk. I've seen stingrays in Grand Turk. I don't think I've seen sea turtles in Grand Turk. No, I haven't, but that doesn't mean that you could. I think you could. Curacao, that's in Aruba too. It's really dependent on where you go in those areas, but definitely those are animals you could see. Yeah. Yep.
Let's see. JT says the first shark I saw while snorkeling was a blue and mako at the same time.
That'd be really cool. I'd really like to see either of those.
He says I was nervous because they both can be aggressive.
Yeah, that's what Cousteau used to dive with the blues all the time, and they'd shum the water up and stuff and get them all wigging out.
Your mama would be very nervous. CruiseNet says we were petting the nurse sharks in Belize.
Oh yeah. Nurse sharks are definitely the most commonly seen shark, I think, for snorkelers and divers in the Caribbean. Probably. There may be areas where that's not the case, but in general, I think that's the case. Florida and the Caribbean.
And Les says, my first shark encounter was in New York City. His name was Vinny. I think he was a lone shark.
Well, if he was alone, then, I'd have to be afraid of him.
JT says, wrong kind of shark, Les. Stacy says, Les, I've seen turtles in Aruba.
There you go. Have I seen stingrays in Aruba? I feel like I have. Definitely scorpion fish in Aruba.
What have we done in Aruba? Why can't I think of...
That's where we went to the flamingo place and we saw the octopus.
Right, but we didn't see, I don't recall seeing any stingrays.
I don't think we did in that area, but that area is so.
Unless we saw like a yellow stingray or something. We didn't.
Yeah,
I don't recall seeing like big stingrays.
No, I think if anything, we would have seen yellow. In that area, we would have seen. Well, you could have. I think it's so enclosed that you probably wouldn't have as good of a chance seeing a big stingray there.
Yeah.
But I think have we seen stingrays in Mambo Beach?
You know, I've only been there once, and I don't think we saw any stingrays.
So many cool things, though. If you go to Mambo Beach,
we spent most of our time there in Narnia, and we didn't get to see a whole lot on the other side of the wall.
Right, but there's so much in that little area. So much, so cool. Yeah.
CruiseNet says, "Hope you didn't have another topic for the night other than sharks."
I mean, I'm just surprised we haven't summoned Larry. That's really the only thing I'd say about that. I mean, we are just as likely to talk about sharks as we are cruising these days, or really any days, or any marine life for that matter. So I don't know. What is your like things that we have seen in the water? What still is the most exciting for you? Stacy's saying, Larry, like he's Beetlejuice.
The most exciting.
Yeah, like if you're like, okay, you get to summon either, and it could be beyond this. I'm just saying, like an octopus, a squid, a moray eel, a spotted eagle ray, a lemon shark, and any of the animals we've seen, not a blue whale. JT, because we've never seen a blue whale, but things that we've already seen.
So,
which one would still be the most exciting for you? Because they're already off your bucket list, so to speak. Like obviously, you could say something we haven't seen, but of the things we've seen.
So not the experience of what I've seen, but like seeing it again.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's my answer right there.
Sea turtles. So you would say you would rather see sea turtles over like sharks, octopus, stingrays, moray eels, all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. No matter what species.
Yeah. Because.
Don't look at me like that, Marty. At least it's a reptile.
Because like the other things are like cool. But every time I see a turtle, I get a different kind of excitement.
Okay, well that's kind of what I was. That's what I was trying to get at.
Hey there, Eric.
Hey, Eric. What's up, buddy? So, yeah.
And we've had some really cool sea turtle experiences. Yeah. Like if you were asking the question of, and I keep trying to think of the different experiences because. Of course, it's all on film, but I don't watch that every day. Like I think my first really exciting sea turtle was the night dive because that was my first one.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to see it the same way that I've seen others.
Right.
Because it was kind of far away and it was dark.
Yeah.
So, but there was a dive. I think it was. What dive was that? Was it one of the Keys dives? There was the sea turtle that we got really close to. It was like chewing on the coral or something.
Was that a green or is that hawksbill?
That one I think was a green.
Then it was probably the Keys.
And then there was the hawksbill that we saw in Bonaire when we were with Stacy. That one was really cool. There was the hawksbill that we saw in Cayman. We were doing the guided dive with Mario.
Yeah.
And you guys were looking at like an eel or something, and I got taken away by that little turtle. Because I got pretty close to that turtle, and it just kind of stuck with us for a little bit.
Yeah. Which sea turtle would you be the most excited to see? That you've only seen 2 species, right? I've only seen 3, so I have not seen that many more than you. And I've only seen loggerhead once, and that was diving in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of like Clearwater. But hawksbill or green?
Hawksbill.
Oh, hawksbill. Okay, yeah. I've seen. Well, I tend to see hawksbills when I'm diving and greens when I'm snorkeling, but I think that's just the situation I've been in.
When we were at Sapona, those were greens that we saw, right?
Yes, those are greens. Yeah, snorkeling and Bimini.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are exciting, but I think hawksbill sea turtles are just beautiful.
Oh yeah,
they are like
gorgeous.
Some of the prettiest sea turtles.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I think they are the prettiest. Yeah.
Now I'd say probably the coolest interaction that I've had was it Half Moon Cay with the squid?
They just hung out with us.
We just spent the entire day just hanging out with that squid.
Yeah.
That was probably like the coolest.
That was pretty cool
thing that we've done.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like I've seen the squid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't ever get the same interaction with a turtle, like, because they're always moving away.
Right. Yeah, JT had that really cool experience in Kona with greens.
Yeah.
Les is asking, what's the largest sea turtle? And JT answered it. That's the largest living turtle. There are prehistoric turtles that were quite a bit larger than that. But yeah, the leatherback sea turtle, which you see different sizes on them if you read books or websites. But I think a safe thing to say would be that their shell length can hit 6 feet, and you will see sizes up to 8 feet. But I don't know how accurate that is. So,
do you think Marty's watching?
I think Marty is watching. Yeah.
I wish you guys could see this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just
no, because what if I do this?
It's real small. You can kind of see her though. Yeah. She's got a little bucket of popcorn. She's got her bourbon. I don't know. I would say that for me, it would be sharks.
Look how funny this is.
It'd be sharks or octopus. It wouldn't be sharks if it was nurse sharks. Not that I don't think nurse sharks are cool. I do, but they don't. I'd rather see an octopus than a nurse shark. But
I think the lemon shark that we saw was really cool.
Lemon shark was cool. Reef sharks, really cool. I mean, those are the sharks. Well, I mean, obviously whale. I'm not counting the whale shark with this because it's not really.
You specifically went out looking for that one,
right? And it's not something we would just randomly encounter. Probably. I mean, I guess you technically could, but unlikely. Yeah. In Hawaii, I saw greens, hawksbill. Oh, you saw leatherbacks. That's pretty cool. I have never seen a leatherback in any situation. Obviously, I've seen Kent's Ridleys. We have one at the aquarium, and a lot of loggerheads. And I feel like I've seen other species of sea turtle, like at aquariums with rehabs. I don't know that I have, because it wouldn't be likely we have like olive Ridleys or flatbacks or anything like that, because they're not anywhere near here.
Most places only have like
greens, Kemps, and loggerheads. Yeah. Leatherbacks you don't ever see in rehabs. They just don't.
Do aquariums have hawksbills?
What's that?
Hawksbills? Do aquariums usually have those?
They can. Yeah, hawksbills will live in an aquarium. We've had rescue hawksbills for sure. And I've seen them like ones that couldn't be released or something like that. You should see blues, makos, and leopards all the time in SoCal. That's cool. That's cool. I've never seen any of those species in person. That'd be cool.
Oh, my body is like achy. Cutting the grass really took something out of me.
What underwater animal that we've never seen would you want to see the most?
If you don't know the answer to that, then you've never listened to me.
I don't know the answer to that?
Yeah. I've said it many times.
Underwater animals?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got me thinking. Have we seen them in zoos or aquariums?
I have not.
Oh. Is the whale shark? No. We've seen dolphins. Oh, not a sea star.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I've seen sea stars in aquariums.
Right.
They are in aquariums.
Are they? Oh. Is it a fish?
Probably not a lot of aquariums.
Is it a fish? Manta ray? Oh, manta ray. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
I'd like to see the pink one in Australia.
Yeah.
But I would take any.
Yeah.
Les says a large octopus.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But you got to get real cold to see those.
I would like to see a large octopus.
Yeah. Got to get real cold to see those.
JT says mantas are cool. Yeah.
I've not. The biggest ray I've seen in the wild was that spotted eagle ray
I was going to say
in Costa Maya. That was almost manta size, not really, but
I was going to say if
like small manta size,
and that was like kind of far away. I would have liked to have that like closer to us.
Yeah.
But if I could like dive or swim or snorkel with a ray that was like double that size, that would be amazing. Rays are just so like majestic when they move and stuff. What about you?
I think a sea snake.
Oh.
Because I think sea snakes are really cool.
Don't let it bite you.
Well, no, they don't usually bite. I really like the pelagic sea snakes, the yellow-bellied sea snakes, but I would be happy to see like a sea crate or something like that as well. You reading Les's thing there, Marty? Manatees, Blue Spring in the winter. Yeah, I mean, manatees are cool. I've been there, done that, got the shirt, but I mean, not saying I don't. Wouldn't enjoy doing it again.
The manatees that we saw at Silver Glen Springs.
That was awesome.
That was a super cool experience really because it was different than like a controlled manatee environment.
It was crystal clear. There wasn't a bunch of people around.
And they were just like living their best manatee life.
Yeah, and yeah. You didn't have people like watching for you to mess up so they could slap you with a fine. I mean, you couldn't touch them, but that's okay. I don't have to touch the manatees. So.
And there was that baby.
Yeah, that was
cool.
That was a real cool experience. No, on the sea snake. Yeah, I think that. I mean, there's other sharks I would like to see. I think it'd be really cool to see a hammerhead. That's real high up on my list. Maybe higher than. I think the reason I would put sea snakes higher than a hammerhead is because I think my odds of seeing a sea snake are so much more limited because they're just not in the Atlantic.
I'd like to see a blue dragon.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But they're like,
I know, but it would be cool to see.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Your mom says she loved swimming with manatees.
Yep.
Worst thing to see would be the kraken.
I mean, if you're talking about the giant squid, I think that would be really cool to see a giant squid.
I mean, what a way to go, right?
I don't think giant squid aren't going to bother you. They don't care. They eat squid that are like big.
But I mean, like the kraken, like you're on the pirate ship and it comes and gets
you. Like a proper mythological
proper kraken.
Yeah.
I said, what a way to go.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Yep.
I'm going to have to get you like a longer little box or something. She is so freaking cute. I wish y'all could see her. We need to get her a little stand.
A little pedestal.
Yeah, do we have here? Can we set her on that? Is that too high?
No, that's actually pretty much perfect. There we go. Well, what shark species would be your top to see? It could be any shark. I mean, throw physics out the window. Any shark species at all. Not prehistoric, but any modern, current living species of the 530. You have 530 options.
I think you asked me this last time, and I said one, and then I changed it, and then I changed it again. So I'm going to name 3.
I mean, it's your prerogative to change your mind. So
Thresher, Mako, and Blue.
Oh, okay. All right. JT's seen 2 of those at least.
Yeah.
Maybe all 3. I don't know if you've seen a Thresher.
Les says Marty's getting so big, you're going to have to start charging her rent. Look at her tilt her head. Oh, she's got this eye closed.
Does she?
Oh, now it's open.
She's looking at my bourbon. She's eyeing the bourbon. You want the bourbon? Can't have bourbon.
Oh, he's seen them all.
Yeah, I thought maybe he'd seen a Thresher shark.
You ought to give Marty a wrench.
I think hammerhead would be top of my list, but then oceanic whitetip would be right there with it. I really like oceanic whitetips a lot. And then maybe a tiger shark. I don't know. I think tiger sharks are beautiful.
Is her eye over there closed?
No.
This eye's closed.
Is it?
Yeah.
She's winking. That's how she winks.
Is she looking down, or is the light too bright in her eyes?
I think she's looking down. Yeah, I think
she's closing this eye.
I think she's looking at my drink. Maybe that light is in her eye on that side. I don't know.
This light.
Yeah.
It will shield you.
Her eyes open now? I can see it. GT got slapped by a Thresher on his kayak.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Like Matt Hooper and Jaws. And they're comparing scars.
You've got like little spikies around your eyes.
In August, the Lego Jaws comes out, and it's stupidly overpriced, like all Legos. But I think I might have to get it. I really like it a lot.
I'm still thinking about that D&D set.
Yeah, that one's even more overpriced.
I know it is, but it's really cool. Would you run the game for me if we got it?
I guess, but I mean,
if you don't want to run it, then I'll have to just find it somewhere to watch it. Because I want to see what the campaign is that goes with it.
Right. JT's telling me to get it, so. I think it's like $160 or something like that. The Jaws one.
Yeah.
But it's real cool, and you can build it and make it like a display, I think.
Yeah, and the D&D one you can actually play a campaign with.
You can play, yeah, but it's not something you'd want to set up and leave it up as a display.
Why?
The D&D one?
Why?
I think it's too bulky. I mean, you'd have to have a really big shelf.
I've got a place for it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it might fit well in the D&D room.
I was gonna say, I just got rid of a frog.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That tank can move, and a D&D Lego set can sit right there.
I mean, that's true. You're not wrong about that.
JT says, "Holy crap, 160," and says, "Get it?" Yeah. Well, the D&D one is 360.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 260.
No, I think it's
360.
I think it's over $300 for that one. I mean, it's a hefty price. Lego. I mean, come on, Lego. Why? You're not making enough money? Come on.
Yeah, it's 360. Yeah. So.
It's only money. JT says it's only money.
Sure. Yeah, it's only money, but I have to have that money. Here's where we're at. I either get a gecko or I get Legos.
Oh, well, that's true. Well, the one thing is that it would be cheaper to get the Legos, and not only is it a cheaper initial purchase, you also don't have to feed them.
That's true.
So
I have been thinking about the Chihuahua a little bit.
About whether you want to get it or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm actually leaning more towards an albino hognose.
Oh, yeah.
Which would cost less.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't take as much care.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, these lizards, man. These lizards need a lot more care.
They sure do. When we cruise,
we're going to have to find like lizard sitters or something.
Yeah.
But the snakes are fine. you know.
And I really like.
We don't even have to ask Les to watch the snakes. That'd be good.
That's true. Les can just take care of the lizards. He doesn't even have to open the snake room. That lizard seemed pretty chill. This is like the best lizard. I have no regrets about any of my animals, but this one is probably one of the best choices I've made. Like, I love my geckos. This is what I wanted out of my geckos, and I wasn't getting it.
I think maybe Churro would sit with us like this at this point now. I've thought about
bringing him. His nails are sharper, though.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about bringing him in for one of our lives, but I don't think that they'd bother each other. But
I mean, she doesn't have to be in here with him.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll try that next week or something. We'll see if Churro. I just have to have a shirt that I don't mind if he tears it up, because he does have sharp claws. He's not trying to tear up my shirts, but he might.
Stacy says she's admiring the ceiling.
Yeah. Is it up here? Down here? Oh.
This eye shut again.
Why are you shutting your eye? Is it the light?
Still shut. Now it's open. Les says, Kimber and Matt, if you have a problem with any solicitors in your neighborhood, just answer the door holding Marty. I don't think Marty's going to scare him away.
Not very intimidating, yeah. Choo-choo.
This would be a great time to have Fruit Loops.
Yeah, you could just ring them on there. Ring toss.
Grab our little cheekies. Hey there, Larry.
Well, Larry, we've been talking about sharks this whole time. And
you missed all the shark talk.
We even tried to summon you earlier.
Yeah, right here. Look.
I don't think he can see that.
You have to wait.
There we go, yeah.
Look at that. Let's say, just tell them this is the baby. His mother is in the other room. Ooh, we put the wings on her.
You think that would do it?
A real dragon. You think she'd let me put the wings on her right now?
Just tell him it's the yellow spotted lizard from Holes. She's going to get your wings. I don't know what to tell you. Your best bet is just to take it, and then it'll be over. That's my bit of advice for you.
She might actually fit into her wings now.
You think? Think she's grown since then? I mean, we see her every day, so I never notice her growing until all of a sudden I go, whoa, you've grown, haven't you?
Get your little feeties in there.
My mom says, she is so good. Proud grandma. JT's telling Marty to run. Does Marty ever answer you back, Matt? I mean, I think she does with a look. I don't know what she's saying, but yeah. Oh, look at that. She's sitting there with her wings on. There you go. Popper dragon. Wait, are you team black or team green?
Don't say the wrong thing.
Oh.
She's sitting in a black container with a green toe.
So that's confusing. She's her own thing. She's a whole other faction.
What are you, team black or team green?
And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's
okay.
It's okay.
Look at Marty with her little wings. They definitely fit her better.
They do, yeah. That means you have grown. Yeah. You are big enough to almost be a full-grown female, potentially. But you could also get bigger and be a full-grown female. Like you're almost at the minimum size for an adult female bearded dragon, I would say.
You think?
She's close, which makes sense because she's like 9 or 10 months old.
She's still kind of small.
Yeah, but females don't get as big as males. Yeah. I mean, I think she's still going to get bigger, but like if somebody said, this is my adult female bearded dragon, I'd be like, okay, she's a little small, but reasonable. Yeah. But she's how old is she? 9 months, 10 months?
November to July.
That's 11 to 12. So July is 7. So no.
She's only 8 months.
She's only 8 months? I thought she was 8 months like 2 months ago.
No, she was 6 months 2 months ago.
Oh, okay. You're definitely getting bigger then. Because like a year to a year and a half, I would say, is when they hit their full size, typically.
Larry says, Kimber, you changed your hair. I did not. I am just wearing it down.
Nature changed her hair.
Yeah. So it's faded and stuff. What's really weird is I don't know how well you can see. You can't really see it real well. Doesn't show up that well. No, looks like but you can still see like some of the purple and pink that's like not faded out for whatever reason. So it just looks stupid. But I'm not going to go spend $300 to fix it right now because I want Legos. Love the bed she's in. Great idea. Yeah, it allows her to be here without her pulling my shirt down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks more blonde.
That's because the color's faded.
Yeah,
and
it's just because the color's
faded. The bleached hair underneath.
So this is my natural color that's growing out. And this is when they colored it purple, they bleached it. So this is just, I've also like literally showered right before this, so it's clean. Not that it's normally dirty, but it's like extra clean.
When I was 15, I got put in the back of a police car because I was out past curfew, and the police were like questioning me, and they asked me if I dyed my hair, and I had a bleach blonde mohawk, and to me that's different. Like bleaching and dyeing are two different things. Dyeing is adding color, bleaching is stripping color. So I was trying to answer them as honestly as
so literal.
Well, I was trying to answer them as honestly as possible, and so I said, no, it's not dyed, it's bleached, and the cop was like, and I was like, no, I was like trying to explain to him, no, it's not the same thing. Like, and then, yeah, I think he thought I was trying to be a wise ass, but I wasn't. I was trying to inform him of my hair color. And one time I got pulled over. And it was late at night. It was when I lived in Farmington, Missouri, which is a tiny town in Missouri. And because it was late at night, they just assumed that I was drinking and driving. I wasn't at all. But I was nervous around police officers because I had real bad experiences with cops when I was a teenager. No fault of my own. But they asked me to walk the line, and I'm like, I'm not that coordinated as it is. I'm going to mess this up. They're going to like, can you just give me a breathalyzer? So I walked the line, and then he said, count backwards from 1 to 30. I thought he was trying to trick me. So I said, sir, it's impossible to count backwards from 1 to 30. Do you want me to count backwards from 30 to 1? And he goes, just get out of here. So like, I guess he figured I was sober, or he felt stupid. I don't know. But again, I wasn't trying to get myself like, beat or anything. I thought he was trying to trick me, like count backwards from 1 to 30. Say our alphabets backwards from A to Z. I can't do that. That's not a thing. So
can you do the alphabet backwards?
Oh no, not very easily. No. Mm-hmm. Can you? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Well, I mean, you brought it up, so I can go like Z, Y, X. Then W,
V, U.
Oh yeah, I'm lost at that point. I could do CBA, D, CBA. I could do that. E, no wait, F, E, D, C, B. Even that I struggle with. Yeah.
So am I doing this, or are you going to talk over me?
Go ahead.
Because I tried to do it, and then
no, go ahead. I'm mum's the word.
Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, F, E, D, C, B, A.
So how is it that you can say your alphabet backwards, but you don't know your right from left?
Let me tell you. So in 6th grade, my English class had the letters on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was bored out of my mind, I would just stare at that and read it backwards.
Okay. All right. So you memorized it backwards, basically.
I mean, isn't that how you do the regular alphabet?
Well, yeah, but I mean, when I think of people doing the alphabet backwards, I'm like, their brain is able to process that information they have the other way around.
I mean, that's kind of how I do it.
Mm.
That's where I pause because
right,
I'm thinking about
what comes before that.
that. I know I didn't, if I did it A to Z, I would do it much quicker.
Right.
Because that's memorized.
Right, because that's like, yeah.
But if I'm doing it Z to A, I do have to pause a little bit to think about where I am.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
But that's what I did. I sat there and I stared at it and yeah. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do in this class. Forget English, forget writing. I'm going to learn the alphabet backwards.
Great. Good use of your time. Here it is. Came up. And you've got that.
I can also do the alphabet in ASL.
I used to, but I've forgotten so much of my sign. I knew so much sign language.
You can't do the alphabet?
I don't think I can remember all of it. I got like A.
That's not
A. That's not A, B, C, D. Oh, C, yeah. Like E, okay. F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I'm like, P's got a weird one. Sorry, Marty. Q is real weird. Q, R? That's R?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? This is S.
Mm-hmm.
S. I should know M-A-T-T real well because I had to fingerspell that. T, U, V, W. X is weird too, right? Like it's like a weird X, like a weird little.
No, X is
Y.
Z.
Is Z like this or is Z with a different finger?
Z is with your.
You just write it out.
Hold on, I might have done R. Might have been wrong. This might have been that's.
When I took ASL in college, like I used to do there's like websites where you can practice like reading finger spelling, and you can like change the speed and stuff.
That's X. So what is?
That's X. Okay.
So what was the other one? Oh, Q is this one.
Q. Okay, I started to do that.
Those are the three that I get mixed up for whatever reason. Q, X, and R. For whatever reason, I get those three mixed up.
I do my 1 through 10 all the time.
Oh yeah, that one's easy.
Because, well, I mean, really the only difference there is this is 3 instead of this. Like that's 3.
That's 3.
And then this is 10.
10.
Like every time, like when I do a squid dissection, I have the kids count the appendages, and then I go around to their tables and I ask them to tell me what number they came up with. And when they say 10, which is what they usually say, unless they miscounted, then I go, oh, 10. And then I tell them why I'm doing that. And I make a Fonzie joke that maybe the teacher gets. And then I say, look how more efficient that is. And it's cooler than like doing this. Like how inefficient is that? So just trying to prop up my deaf folks, I like the deaf community.
All right, let's see here. Are you trying to be a smart kid? Matt, were you a juvenile delinquent?
I wasn't. I was
Matt being a smart ass.
I was a pretty good kid. Because of the way I looked, I got judged a lot by the police, a lot. I got accused of vandalism. I got accused of drugs. I got accused of all kinds of things. And I got hassled by police a lot when I was a teenager. But I didn't do any of the things that they accused me of. I just looked different, and that was enough. So
Kimber, please say you haven't had a lot of experience doing that in school. I bet she still got an A in that class. Now, English is not something I'm good at.
English was not my strong suit either.
As math and science, those were my things.
Math, I didn't do well. Well, I did okay because I was always in the real remedial math classes. I didn't apply myself. I probably would have been okay if I had applied myself, but science I did good in, but English. I think if I would have had access to like a Microsoft Word when I was in high school, or first when I was in college, I think English would have been fine. It was handwriting everything, and also like I didn't comprehend assignments very well. Like there was some disconnect with me and the teachers. I didn't understand like what I was supposed to do, and I didn't ask because I didn't really care that much.
I had that issue with some things.
Yeah.
Writing, I just struggle with writing. Writing is not something that I can write in a professional setting. Like I do a lot of emails back and forth to people, and there's certain, things some people will email back, and I'm like, why are you emailing in that way? So I can write like in a professional way. And I did a professional writing class in college, and I did really good at that. But a regular writing class, I just can't do.
I do good. Like if it's like creative writing or essays, I can do real well with that.
I do not.
But like if I have to write like, like somebody wants me to write them a reference letter or something like that, I'm like, I don't know. I did really well. Like when I went back to college and took my English comp classes, I thought that's where I'm going to fail. That's the wall I'm going to hit. But I did really well. Algebra made me cry more than one time.
Oh, I like algebra.
So I took algebra on the computers when I went back to college. And when I got into the actual algebra, that did not work for me. There were lots of tears. My mom could vouch for that. Then I decided to take it in class with a professor, aced it, top of the class, no problem. I did not, I overanalyzed, I know, imagine me overanalyzing something. I overanalyzed the instruction on the computer version of algebra and just confused the crap out of myself. And even to my credit, my uncle, who was a high school math teacher, tried to help me and couldn't figure it out. So it was a different way that they were teaching it. It was very confusing. So it was much easier for me to have like a human that could explain things to me. And if I didn't understand, I could say, what am I missing? And she could go, this. So
I always have been good at math until I got to college. It's like once I got to college, I forgot how to like be a student or something. But I think I tried to do an algebra class maybe online or something. I don't remember. Or maybe I was just like hadn't done it for a while. But I took a summer class of algebra and it was primarily online, except for like, I don't know, it was like once a week or once every other week we went to a classroom. But the teacher in that class was one of the best algebra professors ever. He drew pictures. He explained it like I walked out of that class thinking, oh, I might actually use this sometime in my life. Unlike most math classes where
they give you practical
where there's
examples
and I like rocked that class.
Yeah. My algebra teacher was from Latvia. She had a real thick accent. And so I could understand her, but it did take a bit to understand her. And like I said, I did really well in that class, and I was such a brown noser. The last day of class, I learned to say something in whatever the Latvian language is, and said that to her. I was such a brown noser; it was ridiculous. My classmates hated me because I was already the older student, and then she graded on a curve, and I blew the curve. They did not like me, but That's just who I was. Kind of a jerk, I guess.
Larry says, speaking of letters on the wall, your douchey sign is distracting me. I keep thinking sushi.
Not in this house. No sushi in this house. Yuck. Although I do like Google. That pickled ginger.
I know who Fonzie is.
Right? I mean, come on.
I watched Fonzie.
I make those Fonzie jokes, and usually there's a teacher that'll get it, but sometimes even the teachers are too young to get it now.
Speaking of teachers that are too young, sometimes we'll have, during like group check-in and stuff, we'll have people come in and pay with a check for their group. And occasionally they will be given like a blank check that's like signed so that they write it out for the right amount. Mm-hmm. And I've had to tell countless number of people how to fill out a check.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a skill that's going away.
And I guess I get it.
There's lines that tell you what goes where. It's not that much of a mystery.
Right.
I wouldn't think. Like balancing your checkbook maybe, but even that kind of wasn't like a big, like I didn't have problems balancing my checkbook.
I never
having like a class in it or something. It was just like basic addition and subtraction.
That's actually how I feel about like most of my job.
The problem was just recording it. Yeah. That was the problem.
Yeah. Like most of my job, like I've had to so we use multiple different systems and nobody ever really taught me how to do things. Mm-hmm. I was just kind of thrown into it. But when I'm training other people, I have to show them every little piece of thing. And I'm like, I had to figure this out on my own.
Yeah, I probably would have struggled with that. I probably would have been challenged by that. I'm bad at that kind of stuff. Unless it's something I'm really interested in, I struggle with that kind of thing.
JT says, writing I'm good with, math not so much.
I would have thought you'd have been a math guy, JT. That surprised me a little bit. I've written quite a few technical white papers. That's a white paper.
If you get a good teacher, it makes all the difference in how much you. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Hey there, Andy.
And a good teacher for me may not be a good teacher for you. It's sometimes that works across the board, but not always. I had a calculus teacher from India, very hard to understand. Gopal Nair was his name.
My calculus teacher was from Russia.
With love? You know, she has never seen a James Bond movie.
I took calculus twice and I failed both times.
I never took calculus. I never took anything beyond advanced algebra because I just was so lazy in high school. I never advanced in math. And then in college, that's all I needed for my degree. So I thought I was going to have to take calculus. And like, I had so many different people tell me that either calculus was easier than algebra or harder than algebra. Like it was people were either like calculus is way easier or calculus is way harder. Same with like trigonometry and stuff. Like
I was fine with
so I guess it's just how our brains work. Some people things make sense and other things make sense. But it seems like most people have like something that like leans more into their mental abilities or whatever.
Yeah, trig was fine. I mean, I wouldn't say that trig was easy or difficult. It just was.
Yeah.
Like it was fine. But calculus, I didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It kind of happened to me.
Never experienced it.
Yeah, so I never understood it. Like I took a physics class in high school, and every time like the teacher went over something, like did an example on the board or something like that, like I totally understood it. Like it all made sense.
Right.
But once I had to like sit down and do something myself, I couldn't figure it out.
Okay.
Like what I thought I had, like I failed every paper that I did because or every assignment because I
didn't click.
I couldn't figure it out. But then it was done in front of me and it made sense.
That could be a teacher thing.
I don't know. So, I couldn't figure it out.
Larry says that we're on.
We're here.
Some places have stopped taking check. That doesn't surprise. I mean, I haven't written a check in probably 10 years, honestly. Social studies and geography, Larry. I don't. Did you have geography at all in school? Like I don't think I ever had a geography lesson. Like
No,
maybe we got bits and pieces of geography along with other things, but like we never learned geography. Social studies, barely any social studies. Mostly social studies, geography, and history all got lumped together. And we've talked about this many times. In my experience, and I think yours, history was just skipping from war to war. Like you didn't really feel the history or learn about the history outside of those, which is a shame, really. I mean, not that those aren't important, but when I took history in college, it was way different. And I had a substitute come in because my history teacher, who used to say lie, cheat, and steal is the only way to deal every day, he had something medical happen to him. So we got a substitute. It was the only female history teacher I ever had. And every male history teacher I had was like a slime ball in high school. But she came in and she was like, let's talk about what it felt like to be a Native American. And I was like, yeah, I can get behind this. Like, let's talk about people being oppressed and what that feels like. So that was the only positive experience I had of history and kind of exploring more than just war. I mean, I thought the war stuff was interesting, but there's so much more to history than just jumping from war to war.
I hated history because that's what history,
right.
even in college, that's what history was.
See, my college experience was very different.
Yeah.
Very different. But that's very professor driven.
Yeah.
Very professor driven. I had a really good history professor. In fact, I really enjoyed that class. He tried to talk, because I was in the College of Education, he tried to sway me into becoming a history teacher, which I considered, but I don't know. But it was a really, because it was more about the experience of living in different parts of history, and you get a better understanding of why things happened, and it was just much more enriching.
I've learned more about history by like watching TV shows and stuff than I ever did in classes.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about this history class, but I remember I wasn't doing well, as most of my history classes went. And the teacher allowed us to turn in our assignments that like we either didn't do or didn't do well on, like later. So that's of course what I did. I didn't do well for most of the semester, and then at the end I like knocked out all of my assignments and turned them in and passed the class. But that particular class, we were supposed to read The Time Machine and like write a paper on that or something.
Like the H.G. Wells book?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which of course I didn't.
History?
Yeah, I don't remember.
That wasn't real history.
But there was a reason for it apparently.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
But of course I didn't read it and didn't have time to read it. So I watched the movie.
Which is not quite the same.
And then I read like a SparkNotes like thing on it, wrote my paper and got an A.
It's a good book.
Nice hairdo, Kimbra. Larry mentioned my hair as well. I haven't done anything with it. It's just down.
It's looking real blonde.
Apparently. I would compliment Matt on his hair, but I can't see it. Nobody can.
I got the same hair you've got.
It's on his face. You can't see that? I took French and Latin in school. Which one do you think I retained the most? Well, I took Latin in high school.
I took French. I can remember a couple sentences.
I thought I was going to be a scientist, so I was like, let me take Latin so that I'm like in the know.
I was going to say, I know a little bit of Latin from scientific names, but I'm not like anywhere close to like fluent or anything. I just know a few words.
Yeah. Jen is a numbers person. I'm not.
I can see that.
That's probably why
I can totally see that.
I think me and Jen kind of have that similar kind of mindset like that. Let's see.
Look at that.
Math's never my strong point. I have 11 fingers and 9 toes.
That should be an advantage.
Nice shirt, Matt.
Thank you. Hey, Sean, I've been on like a British
Can we get through these comments?
Well, let me just
okay.
Because I don't know if this is in Australia or if it's just England, but I got some Branston pickle and original pickle, and I did like a cheese toasty or toast and cheese, not toasted cheese. What do they call it?
Cheese on toast.
Cheese on toast with it, and then I did just a cheese sandwich with Branston pickle, and it was the cheese sandwich was real good. It's not pickles for our American friends. It's a pickled product. It was so good. It was so good. So anyway, go ahead. Social studies, geography was mostly junior high, middle school. Yeah, I mean, we had social studies in like elementary school. I never knew what we were learning about. I never understood it. What we were learning, it was not. I struggled with that. I think that was a problem that I had. But I think I don't know. Probably today I would have been given some learning disabilities. I feel like because some things that seemed so hard to me back then are now so easy to me, and I don't understand. I think it was just the communication thing. But yeah, like social studies would have been nice. Geography would have been nice.
I took some psychology classes in high school that I like absolutely loved. I enjoyed, which is why at 2 points in time, my major in college was psychology. I keep talking about college. For those of you that don't know, I went to college for 5 years, had 8 majors, and walked out with a bunch of debt and nothing else to show for it.
Yay! Yay, higher education! Yay. Good job.
JT says, but then again, I didn't go to college. Well, at least you don't have the debt on it to follow you.
There you go.
I didn't go to college either. I went the cooking route. And I'm waiting for you to come down and cook me some food.
I didn't go to college until like late in life. I did, but I just dropped out of all that, or didn't drop out and got Fs, which screwed my GPA later on when I did go for real. But
says our history classes were about the War of 1812 and Native Americans.
Ours were Revolutionary War, Civil War, World War I, World War II. We ran out of time.
I don't even
over and over again, every single freaking history class.
I don't even think we ever really hit World War II.
We barely did. We were in World War II whenever the semester or year would end. Every freaking time. I mean, we may have mentioned the Industrial Revolution in passing. You know, we may have mentioned like women's suffrage in a sentence in a chapter, but there was no experiential history. Like, I just think, like, to me, it's sad to me when you talk about like how you don't like history, and I'm just like, I feel like if you would have had a more enriching experience, that would have been, history would have been a totally different subject for you. Maybe. I mean, think about when we go to like some of the places that we've been to with history that we kind of learn about, and how much more interesting. I mean, granted, you're there and stuff, but still, like, I think we really missed, like, I think there's a lot of things we missed the ball on with education, but I think history is one of the biggest. And at least my experience. I can't speak to everyone's history experience, but I mean, like I said, though, every history teacher I had was a sleazeball dude. Like, sleazeball. Yeah. That didn't care.
The creepy guy.
Yeah, the creepy guy that didn't care.
Like the one that I didn't want to go talk to.
Gold chains and the hairy chest and like flirting with the girls. Like, every one of them. Every one of them.
I did have, I'm in my, I think it was my senior year of high school. I did have a history teacher that I kind of liked. But at the same time, he was kind of that guy that I was like, I feel like you're just nice because I'm a girl. Like, there was something about him, but he was better than the other ones.
Yeah. My junior year in high school, I had a world history class. Teacher was an older Jewish guy. He taught a lot about the Holocaust. That's valuable. Yeah. That's valuable. Those are things that we need to understand so that we don't let them get repeated. So yeah, that's important stuff. Pig Latin doesn't count. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Actually, my geography and my Latin that I know is all from me doing research on animals.
Which is why I took Latin.
Yeah, I mean, I
thought I was going to be a scientist.
Like, I just know words that are part of scientific names. I know what they mean. That's about the extent of it. I don't really know Latin at all. Matt has hair. I mean, on my face less. I got way too much on my body. How is that fair? Like, could I just be totally bald or have a full head of hair at least to go with my ape form. Like I don't like having a hairy body. I don't really care about hair on my head. Like I could live without hair. Like that doesn't really bother me. But one or the other. Why do I have to get the worst of both ends? I don't understand that. Life's not fair. I guess that's the.
Yeah.
Our class was so good at Latin, they made us do Greek mythology instead. Huh, that's interesting. Like I did get some Greek mythology from like my literature classes in junior high. That was cool. That's history, sort of.
My second year of Latin, we learned Latin, but then we also learned mythology. So like, I don't remember how it was split, but it was something like so many days of the week we did one thing, or maybe it was like this week we did like the language, and this week, but we learned both things.
My best history that I got really was I took an art history class in college, and it was like up till the Renaissance, like from like cavemen to the Renaissance, and that I loved that class. I just soaked it up. And then I didn't get to take the second part because I moved and it wasn't offered when I moved back down to Florida. And then I took a humanities class.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. JT's saying good night somewhere down there. Good night, JT. So did Stacy.
Oh, good night, Stacy.
Good night, Stacy.
Yeah, now the humanities class was pretty good. It was not as good as art history, but it was kind of the same thing where it was really a history class. It was humanities, but it was really about culture and civilization, and it really made you get multiple perspectives. It was a good experience. It was a little more like that teacher was a little sleazy too, even though he's a college professor, but it was still much better than my high school experiences. So.
Aunt D says Kimbra once again is like her favorite aunt. I excelled in math and science, but sucked in English and history.
Yeah.
Well, it's a family thing, I guess. Larry says psychology. Oh yeah, that's why I like murder. It's not that I like murder. I think the psychology of why someone murders, like it blows my mind how somebody can do that. So learning about like that kind of stuff and watching those shows and being like, what would make somebody think about doing that? Like it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
However, so I was like, yeah, psychology is super cool. Like I love learning about it. It's very, very interesting. But then like, what would I do as a psychologist? Like be a therapist or something? Right. Like I don't want to hear about people's problems. So that didn't work for me. But the idea of learning about it is very interesting.
It's an interesting topic, yes.
Matt, we are the same age. Sounds like we learned the same thing. The difference, I'm Canadian and I didn't learn much about Canada.
Well, that's sad. You guys like torched the Capitol though, didn't you? I used to, when I was younger, I used to go to the science fiction convention in St. Louis called Archon, and there, for whatever reason, there were always Canadians there, and they would have like room parties, and they would have like Canadian beer and stuff. And I used to go in there and drink a little bit and talk to them because I was convinced that the Revolutionary War was a mistake and that we should have stayed with England like Canada did. There were some fun conversations there. I'd probably get a lot of hate for that now, but I'm still not sure I was wrong. So.
You gonna read that? You just stare at it.
I didn't know if you were. Matt, oh my God, I had the same type of history teacher. Very friendly with you, right? I don't know why that was a thing. Yeah. And I don't know if it's still a thing, but like they were usually coaches, but like girls volleyball or something like that, but they were just sleazy, like, and even things that they said, it wasn't even like they kind of looked the part or they kind of flirted with females, which was a little weird. and creepy, but like even things they said were just like, you're a terrible person. So even in high school, I knew they were terrible people. I'll believe it or not, the two teachers that had the most impact on me were my history teacher and my driver's ed teacher, if you can believe that. I do believe that, because if you get a good history teacher, I think that's like that could change your life. Like if in high school you had a really good history teacher that actually taught you meaningful history and not just dates and times and places, I think that could be a life-altering experience. And driver's ed, I mean, I don't know about that one. That could be, I don't know. I didn't have a driver's ed class. I
took driver's ed.
Like I think my dad taught me how to drive or something.
I took it because that was the quickest, easiest way for me to get my license,
I didn't want to get my license.
Which I did not rush to do.
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to say, I was 18 before I got my driver's license. I had no interest in getting a driver's license.
Neither did I. I had a car.
Oh, I didn't have a car, but yeah, I didn't.
It sat in the driveway.
I wanted nothing to do
for a long time until I went and got my license.
Deanne, I was going to be a vet in my senior year. My chemistry teacher said I wouldn't make it. That is infuriating. That I had the smarts, but the competition was too fierce. I never went to college after that bubble burst. That is such a shame, because I think that happens way too often. And yeah, you need a realistic perspective on things, but like that's not it's not like you were like, I'm going to be a professional sports person or a professional actor or something where it's really slim odds. Like you could be a vet. Yeah, there's competition, but if you apply yourself, like I feel like I've had jobs in my life. I've had many jobs in my life that I was told when I started the job, it was a part-time gig. I would never get there full time. And I've done that. I did it at the zoo. I did it at the science center, like let people go after their dreams. Now you really need to watch our show tonight. It is Aussie based. I will try, Sean. This is what I can tell you. If I don't catch it live, I will catch the rerun of it then, since that's Aussie based. You didn't answer me about the Branston pickle though, so need to know. Or what about you, Larry? Is that could be? You Canadians have a lot in common with the Brits. Do you have Branston pickle in Canada? Is that a thing?
Larry says, I love prison crime gang shows, and no, I'm not interested in being a criminal. I just like I like the murder stuff and the cult stuff. The drug stuff and the gang stuff don't do it for me.
It is fascinating.
I like the really crazy stuff.
Sometimes like serial killers and stuff, it's like fascinating. And then sometimes I think, am I a little twisted for like liking this? Even like, does that say something about me?
But I watch it way more than you do.
Oh, I know. It concerns me too.
I know how to get rid of a body.
But even watching like fiction shows, like watching like Law and Order SVU. And like watching those horrible, heinous crimes that are in that show. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm always rooting for the good guys, but like, why do we even want to be exposed to that? It's so horrible. But, I guess
it's a popular show though.
And I enjoy it. I mean, I'm not claiming I don't like it. I'm just saying sometimes I step back and I think about it and I think, what does that say about me? Does it say something bad about me? Or is there an explanation? Like, I don't know. Interesting.
I blame my mom for getting me into those types of shows. We used to watch.
A lot of people like that.
Well, they do, but like that was something that my mom and I did together. Like we watched, we had our CSI nights, Without a Trace, Cold Case. Like we watched those shows. That was like our thing. We had each night was the show that was on that night.
And here's the thing, okay? So, and I'm not picking on you, Les, I promise. But like, we watch those shows. And
why are you talking to Les?
I'll get to it. Give me a second. We watch those kinds of shows and all that horrible things that humans do. And yet people are afraid of snakes and sharks, not our fellow Homo sapiens, which we statistically have way more reason to be afraid of. It's just interesting how our brains work when it comes to that sort of thing.
Yeah. I just thought of this because I don't think Aunt Dee was in here earlier.
What she said about her ex-husband.
Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I wanted to show off Marty.
Oh yeah,
Marty and her wings again for anybody that didn't see it previously. And now
Marty's still awake too.
Yeah.
Marty's been staying up later. She's gotten older. She's stayed up later.
Yeah. Be married to my 2 ex-husbands and you think about murder often.
I saw a meme on.
Sorry. Hey there, Nick.
Hey, Nick. I saw a meme on Facebook today. I think Al posted it, and it said something. It may not have been Al. I don't think it was Al now that I'm saying that. But it was like driving by my boyfriend or something, and I thought, I'd hit that. Wow, that has a lot of different meaning these days. Something like that. I thought that was kind of humorous. But I don't feel that way. I don't want to kill anybody that I used to be in a relationship with, just to be clear. The Revolutionary War wasn't a mistake. The British pushed us over the edge. Tax on the tea. That's why we pushed it all into the Boston Harbor. I know, Nick. I know the stories. I understand. I'm just saying they have free healthcare in Canada. So just saying there's some things about Canada and Australia that stayed under the kings for a lot longer that I prefer. And yeah. So my driver ed teacher was also my history teacher. Oh, okay. So multi-purpose teaching. I like it. I like it. Now you Americans have drivers within your schools, right? Drivers. Oh, we don't have driver's ed in our schools. I paid for defensive driving on my own, paid $500. It depends. My high school did not have driver's ed.
Mine didn't either.
But the one I started in, and I switched to like a lower economic high school for arts, and that we didn't even have a yearbook or a sports team. But my high school I started in, which was like Rich County kids, they had a driver's ed program. I just didn't take it. But yeah, so it depends on the school. If it's like a school with a lot of resources, then they probably do.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then they probably don't.
Took it at a driver's ed school thing. I don't know. Yeah. It was specific for that.
Yeah.
Easiest way to get a driver's license, and also your insurance rate went down if you passed driver's ed. Yeah, there was something about like you automatically got what was it? Something like you didn't have to go through something to get a learner's permit if you took driver's ed, or there was some kind of benefit to taking driver's ed.
I think you could. I feel like you could get your driver's license early or something like that, or you could take it.
There was maybe it was something about taking the test. If you had some benefit if you took the driver's ed class.
Also, your insurance rate went down if you passed driver's ed. That sounds familiar. Well, it's the same with motorcycles. If you take that motorcycle course, it lowers your insurance rate. I don't know how much. It'd be interesting to find out because that might make it worth the price. But motorcycle insurance is so cheap.
So if I take
it'd have to be real good.
There wasn't any question about that. There was no question about that.
Yeah, there was.
Was there?
Yeah, there was.
Oh.
Yep. It asked me if I'd taken the course.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
But I also have like so many years of experience that probably gave me the same thing because I've had a motorcycle license since like the early 90s. So, yeah. Larry says, I've never heard of Branston pickles. Okay. So it's not a Canadian thing. Yes, crime and psychology go together. Definitely.
Which is why I'm into them both.
Yeah.
I think the crime and mystery shows means you guys are analytical.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I do like the mystery of it. Like that is definitely part of the appeal. Like even watching the documentaries, like I don't want to know the outcome until like I want to try and like go through the process. Maybe you're right. Maybe that is. Otherwise, it's just a horror movie, right? But I like those too. So.
But I don't.
I know you don't, but I do.
So. I would definitely say I'm an analytical person.
I mean, I like movies and video games that have violence, but I am very, very I'm like, yeah. I got a low signal there and we're stuttering.
Okay, well, let's keep going and see what happens. Yeah. Marty!
Oh, those eyes are closing now.
This one's closed.
This one is
it just opened.
Doing this.
Larry says, for me, it is a curiosity thing. I've always been an analytical person. It was always why, then why.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely part of it. But then I'm not just interested in like the mild crimes. Like,
right.
Like the more horrific, the more interesting it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nick P, I got to hold my first python in Australia. Oh, cool. What an eye-opening experience. Definitely a great place to do it when a reptile expert's standing right next to me. Absolutely. Do you know what species of python it was? Was it like an Australian species? It could have been
python?
Carpet or a children's, or probably not a green tree because they'll bite you in the face most of the time. But that's cool. Yeah. Diamond python. There's a lot of good pythons in Australia. No, we don't have free healthcare here in Canada. We pay it for their taxes. Okay, but I'd rather have that personally. My choice would be to do it that way. Yeah, than to not be able to. If I don't have a job that gives me healthcare, I'm kind of screwed. So I personally believe everyone should have to take a driver's ed to pass in order to drive a vehicle and defensive driving. I think that's not a terrible idea, Larry. I mean, I didn't, but I think that I would be okay with that personally, because I mean, that's like the leading cause of death still, maybe, of like teens and 20 somethings is probably automobile accidents. So I mean, you're still got testosterone that's going to maybe override the lessons, but maybe it would save a few lives. Maybe. Entire high school I went to had a total population counting from 9th grade to 12th grade, only 350 students. Less, I think I had less than that. Well, wait, did you say the entire school? Oh, I didn't have less than the entire school, but my entire school was probably 600-700. And anyone wants to see Marty's wings?
She's looking at me because she's a dragon, so she has dragon wings. And she's a red-orange dragon, so her wings are orangey colored. Look at her staring at me.
Cool.
Are you upset because I turned you? You want me to turn you back so you can watch? No idea what type of python. I just know it was one that was friendly enough to be able to be held. No better time to go step out of your comfort zone than on vacation.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad you did that. That's awesome. I love it when people do that. Like when I do snake programs or any kind of animal program and people tell me they like touch the snake. I can't let them hold the snake because we have a lot of rules at the aquarium, but they touch the snake, or if it's one of my personal ones, I'll let them hold it. And when they tell me that they just overcame that fear, like that's like when I get the warm fuzzies, because that makes me feel really good that people are having that cool experience and getting over that. Because most pythons are, if they're not wild and they don't think you're going to eat them, most snakes are pretty chill. Once they know you're not going to try and kill them.
That light too bright for your little baby eyes.
Amanda thinks your wings are cool, Marty.
Oh, look, she closed her eyes now. That's what it is. That light is too bright.
Well, this eye is starting to fade. We are getting into Marty's bedtime, I think. She's trying to stay up with the big kids, but she's struggling.
Mom, they were looking at me, not you. You sleepy Marty face.
No.
You struggling. Larry says Marty is getting sleepy.
Mm-hmm. Aw.
She's been so good.
She has been.
Not walking out of her wings.
Yeah, it's the first time she hasn't done that, right?
No, it's the second time.
Second time?
I put them on her one time when Steve was over, and she ran back and forth catching worms with the wings on.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
That was fun too.
All right. Well, it is 9:49. So Sean says they're going to have a fun Australian episode tonight down under Cruisers. So go and check them out. We may try to, although I'm getting a little sleepy myself, like Marty here. So we may catch it on the replay. But thank you guys for joining. We'll probably peace out here in a moment. We'll just read these last comments here. 2 places I've never been, Canada and Australia. Love to visit both. Me too. Me too. I like both those countries. I think they're pretty cool places. Deanne, you'll be proud of me. I had a teeny jumping spider in my house, like not much bigger than a pinhead, and let it crawl on me. That's awesome. I love to hear stories like that. I love to hear stories like that.
I let you buy one.
I know.
And it was big.
Not really, but that's a step.
It got like this big.
Yeah, that's not big. But that's good.
There was a spider in my bathroom the other day that I thought was trying to kill me.
Yeah.
It was creepy looking. Like I've never seen one that looked like that.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty common spider to me, but
what kind?
I don't know. It actually looked like a fishing spider to me, but I don't think that.
Well, I'm not going to Google that.
Been in your bathroom, so there's like thousands of species of spiders in Florida, probably. So it's not like reptiles where there's 47 species of snakes or something.
My problem now is, so my bathroom doesn't have a toilet paper roll holder thing, so it just kind of sits up in the windowsill. My issue now that I know that there's been a spider in my bathroom is every time I grab that toilet paper, I have to look inside. I can't stick my hand in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that we've talked about all of my fears, have a great weekend, everyone.
Yep. Have a good weekend. Thank you guys for hanging out. Larry says my daughter and fiance had 2 scorpions and a red something toad.
I made it bigger for you.
A red something toad. I don't know what that would be, but that's cool. That's cool. I like scorpions. Scorpions are cool. All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Maybe with, I almost said Del Monte. Maybe with Churro.
Good night.